So we are live. Welcome to another episode of Keeping It Real with Hayley and Leanne. I'm Hayley.
I'm Leanne.
And that's Leanne. And today we've been and ahhing about what we're going to do is podcast on, and we've decided fear. It can be related to current times as well. But yeah, so today we're going to talk about fear, our experiences, the physical experiences as well. I'm going to include because fear is huge, and actually some people are not sure when we speak about fear. Some people, like I've had clients that assume that fear is just fear of spiders, fear of phobias, etc. But actually, like we spoke before we got on the call, it could be very unconscious and we're not even aware it's fear. So yeah, so hopefully we will come across clear.
Yeah, that'll be helpful, won't it?
Yeah. So Leanne, what's your understanding of fear?
Well, my understanding of fear is, well, I see it as rational fear and irrational fear. So, rational fear for me is like, say, right now, my flat was on fire. Then there'll be rational fear that I need to get people safe, get the dog, get outside, phone the fire brigade. But there would be absolute fear running through me because I've got the thought comes in, you've got to do something, blah, blah, blah. Then you get the cluster thoughts, and then that wisdom comes up and then you're on it. And that's rational fear. Like, if you're about to be attacked or anything else, that's rational fear. Irrational fear is when your mind goes into overload of thinking about doing something, and then that over analytical mind, that logical mind of making stuff up, of case scenarios, and then before you know it, you're kind of talking yourself out of doing something because you've got an irrational fear of, like, for example, I'll give an example to explain it. I love singing and dancing. I do, actually. But to do that in front of, say I said, Leanne, you need to sing a song to an audience. That the irrational fear would be standing up, humiliating myself. Then I'll be like, oh my God, I'm going to be no good. So then, and blah, 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 blah. But I love singing. I've been told I'm good at singing, blah, 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 blah. But that doesn't matter because that would go out. The fear would be of public humiliation. What's the worst that's going to happen to me? I'm not going to fall down dead. I'm just going to be out of tune. Some people might say she's rubbish. I mean, it's an irrational fear of, anything that is going to bother me or hurt my ego, or so like yesterday, I'll give a good example of irrational fear. I went back swimming in the cold water, open water swimming. I didn't swim, I dipped and just moved around a bit for 5 minutes. As I walked into the water beforehand, mouth was dry. I know what to expect, so I've done it before, but there was still fear of walking into 6 degrees cold water. There's nothing that's going to happen to me other than being cold and getting wet. If I stay in there too long, yeah, hypothermia does kick in, but it was irrational how I was behaving. My whole physical body, as soon as I got into my waist, paralysed. I was completely in the, and I was really concentrating on my breath, going into a meditative state, like exhaling a lot. And and what's going to happen to me? Nothing's going to happen to me. I had 2 gorgeous friends with me that were supporting me on getting into the water, but my whole physical body paralysed, and all I had to do was get in. That's all I had to do. But this fear was just like, I was like that. I can't move. Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, so then I remember looking at my friend and just going, count to 3. And she's just like, she's in. Both of them are in. And because I hadn't been in for 10 weeks and I knew it was going to be a lot colder than before then. So then the fear was just, I can't get in. I can't get up to 3. So 1, 2, 3. And I just thought, oh, won't swear, but I was like, I'll sod it or whatever. Went through my mind, would be stronger language than that. And I just did it. And then it was just like, then I'm just coping on regulating my breath and nothing happened to me, but the fear was intense. It was so intense. It was and the paralysis kicked in. But I know I'm blurring. I'm going off course. I know I am, Hayley. But
no, you're not.
For me, it is. Bless you. So for me, it is that rational and irrational fear. But then you have the unconscious fear. You know, the fear that you don't even know you're in fear. You know, you might have experienced something that was not too pleasant in the past. For example, we'll take relationships, right? So there's stuff that's happened in relationships before. Then you do a massive amount of healing on yourself, and then you have fear of not trusting yourself or going through that pain again, but you don't think you're actually, no, because I've healed myself, blah, 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 blah. But that little bit of fear still runs and it comes up and you can feel it. You can feel it. And I've called it, it's like a thought cluster, a cluster of thoughts that go. So that would be how I would explain fear. It's irrational, rational, and totally unconscious.
Well, we're done because we're done. That's the podcast done. No.
What?
I said, no, joking. But how you explained it was spot on.
I was like, hey, what's happening?
No, how you explained it was spot on. You know, we've got the rational fear of fire, falling. You know, if you're hanging from a building, you're going to be in fear. No, we're not done. Hayley. We're not done.
No, we're far from done, Hayley. Come on.
But as you was talking, what popped in my head is, you know, it's like with fear. So it's 100% the stuff we make up. So I'm going to give an example because I always relate to examples. So when I woke up this morning, we're doing a podcast on fear, and I had fear.
Yeah.
So I'd really intense fear when I was like, you know, that freeze. That, you know, you got the fight, flight, freeze.
Freeze. That's the word.
Freeze. Yeah. So I froze, and then that led to actually me feeling a little bit down. And I was like, what is going on? And obviously then it hit. So I was making up stuff about myself, making up stuff about other people. That they could judge me, etc., etc. Now, if I wasn't aware, I would probably roll with that and then make an excuse this morning. You know, I might say, do you know what, Leanne, I've not slept well tonight. Let's do it another day. And I'd get a temporary relief. But then what would happen is, I know what would happen with myself personally. I would then make stuff up about me, that I couldn't do this. And then I'd be saying, oh, you're crap, you know, you've got no courage. Not rational. I wouldn't be able to hear this. This would all be going blah blah, you know, like the storm. And it'd just be like a big vicious circle. Because one, I'd be thinking I'm out of control, which I would be with other people, what they thought of me. You know, that is out of my control. But I find fear fear for me is when you feel out of control, when you don't trust in yourself. If you don't trust in yourself, you're just gonna be going with it. And for years, Leanne, I didn't have a clue what fear was, actually, until I met Greg and yourself. When it all became a little bit clearer, because you were asking me the right questions, and petrified kept on coming up. And I didn't know that was fear. I just thought, oh, that's because I ain't got no confidence. Oh, that's because I'm shy. That's because so making all this stuff up. But actually the truth was, I was in complete fear, and it's normally related to something outside of me, whether that be a person. So whether that be a person, whether that be well, it's normally people, isn't it? What other people could, do or say. Um, all this stuff we make up. But my point is I wasn't even aware that I had fear for years. Wasn't even aware. But now I'm aware. I can look it in the eye and go, well, it's okay. It's all right. But if that's when I'm calm, if I'm in it, Leanne, that all goes out the window. And
oh, when you're in it, you're in
all out
it.
the window. You're in it. You're making stuff up. You're not even aware you're making stuff up. Wouldn't that be lovely? If we're going, oh, this is just fear, we'll be okay. It doesn't work like that.
No.
But what helped me is the awareness that actually fear is stuff we make up. But it's not as simple. It is stuff we make up. And we think our feeling. So when we have a thought, we feel it. Then we some people think in images. So you get a movie screen pop up, and then before you know it, out of that, no, I'll leave it today. Do you know what? What I'll do?
Yeah. Before you know it, there's a movie going on.
Yeah. And it's it can come in so many different ways, can't it? Fear when other people say stuff to you as well. When I've read stuff from the news, I don't watch the news anymore because it would cripple me. I'd been in this very small world thinking that what people said in the media or social media or blah 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 other people, that's so true.
Yeah.
And I would really believe it and make up my own little world now that we're small. Like we're really small and we're out of control. But when I realised, no, we're not out of control. As long as you trust yourself, you'll be all right.
Yeah, well, that goes back into, no, you're absolutely bang on. It is trusting yourself, having faith in yourself and your decisions and stuff. But it's very difficult when you're like projection from others on outside influences, as you say. What come up when you said about the movie and everything else is that we are caught in like the fear that, we won't go into it too much because I don't want to get into politics and what's going on with the world.
No.
But that is fearful. It's mainstream propaganda projecting fear onto humanity through a black box called TV, phones, on social media, radio with like synchronized messages. It's all a fear-based programming, and then you take it on and it's unconscious, isn't it? It's that unconscious programming of stuff.
Yeah.
If you choose to listen to it, and I think people do, not on purpose, but we innocently forget that we have choice. So if we can change, if you want to change something, it's taking the choice to change something and dropping that fear to go fearlessly forward anyway. That basically is that thing, isn't it? Like when I lost my thread then. There was something else I wanted to say to you.
Talking about the media and how the unconscious go with it.
Yeah, it's like a little mind bomb went off because of the media. It's about trust, going back to that's it, and it's going back. Thank you. Just goes to show it's all just live, but it goes back into that faith of trusting yourself. When you go inside and you listen to that intuition, wisdom, whatever you want to call it, and you find your breath calms down, you're not in your intellect, and you really do calm, and then you see, you feel the fear going, and you see, actually, what's the worst that can happen? I'm going to choose to do this, and that's when the fear drops, because you make a decision and everything else. But that fear holds you in that your comfort zone, really. We're all in our reality, we're going along in life, and we do this and we do that. As long as I'm all right, Jack, blah, 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 blah. And then you have an idea, or there's something to do, and then the fear comes in, because it's taking you out of your comfort zone, of your norm. And that's where you have to take that leap of faith. For me, it's taking that leap of faith. We've talked about this before, face the fear and do it anyway.
Fill the vid
That is
anyway,
getting
yeah.
into that is going into the sea. That is getting up and doing your podcast.
That's it.
Even though you have fears and insecurities about it, it's about just doing it anyway and having the strength and courage to say, blast it. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't want to swear.
They just swear. You're just being you. We swear.
Look, my dog is really making a lot of noise at the door, and I need to just give him something. Is that okay? Well,
yeah,
one moment, please.
Of course you can.
Where did I put it there, Hayley?
Where did you put
my backup plan? I've got it.
You got it. You got your
Listen, my dog sitter is in the bathroom, and so now the dog's bored and back at my door.
And yeah, that could have been, you could have made stuff up, but you didn't. You just went and done it. So as you was talking, I had two examples actually.
Excellent.
One as a parent and one as we had a discussion about originally doing this podcast. So when we, you said you have an idea and then you start to make up stuff. If we was just to go, we're just going to do it and go with it. So when we first had the chat, I don't know how long ago now, a year ago maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, so when we first had the chat about us doing a podcast, I was like, oh my God, I'd have to get all the equipment. I'd have to, no, that's fine. We have to leave that for now because I've got the money for that. I've got the experience. And then, but there was something stronger bringing me forward to just ask the right people the right questions. And it was simple. It was just on a Zoom, just on a Zoom. The right equipment will come at the right time.
We will have the right equipment at the right time.
We will.
Microphones.
I want those big microphones. Come on.
Come on. I so want one of those microphones. We'll be like, you see them, don't you? Like Russell Brand, they've all got the microphones now.
The proper mic, yeah. I want the big mic.
Sod it, we'll have a studio.
Yeah, we have a studio. We've just seen you can see Josh's goalpost in the back there. But yeah, no, but I went so into a story that this podcast might never have happened, of making things up. People will go there, what are they doing? Get them two off. Or what's she doing? I actually weren't thinking of you. I was like, get her off. Why was I thinking this when I just, but like you say, you're so in it, you don't see the rational side. You don't see that rational side when you're in it. So that was one example. The other one as a parent was my youngest was on Monday was going into school and he looked really sad, and a couple of the other mums went, oh God, he looks really sad, and I thought, oh, he don't want to go to school anymore. I'm gonna have to start homeschooling him. I'm gonna have to give up this, give up that, because I he comes first. And what about if he gets really depressed? What about when he's 15 he's depressed? What about? And actually 2 days later he was absolutely fine. Just Monday morning he didn't want to go in. He'd been used to being off. He was absolutely fine, and I was like, isn't that madness how I was really in that story, that illusion. When I see it for what it is, he was just a little boy that didn't want to go to school.
Yeah, and you do feel sad, but I love the way you just changed your whole life.
I know,
just to so that your son could be happy, and that is it. That is it when you're in that. Yeah. Especially as a parent.
Parents do it often. They see their children sad, or that's it. They're going to end up in prison when they're older, or they're going to
get in with the wrong crowd.
It's ridiculous because it's not ridiculous because when you're in it, it feels so real. But luckily, the more self-aware you become, I think you can pull yourself out of it quicker. I do think that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as 100%. Before, yes, if this happened 10 years ago, I might have been in it for weeks and months and made so much stuff up that it's picking up on my energy, you know, but now I can pull myself out of it quicker and go, no, look, you're making stuff up, you know, but
Yeah.
that's a comfort for me now, like recognizing that
Mm.
that is not, and you know, if I wasn't aware of fear and what it does and how the mind works, I could have rolled with that for months.
And it is like, something just popped in my head when you said about Josh feeling sad. Oh, sorry,
That's all right.
get the
I've mentioned
name.
his name before.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, safety aspect, Leanne. Well done. Like when we see our children sad or upset or whatever, we do go into like a rescuer. We need to save them because we're in fear of our children experience unhappiness. But we, as human beings, you know, we need to know all emotions. We need to know what sadness is. We need, you know, so that so the awareness continues anyway. How do we, you know, everything's consciousness. So then, you know, but we, sorry, distraction. So yes, but we do. So like, I just love the fact that you're so honest about the fact that you changed your whole life in a day until you actually found out the truth that Josh just didn't want to go to school. It was Monday morning.
Monday morning, and I heard actually
But to a 6-year-old, that's, you know, that's their whole world. It's like, you know, it's going to be sad. You know what I mean? But they need to feel that. You need to feel that emotion, then see that it's so temporary. Every emotion is so temporary, unless we breathe life into that, and that's normally fear. And the fear is my child's unhappy.
Yeah, and that's the big
and
one.
then when we come out of the fear, then the rationality comes in, and we're like, actually, there's something I can do about this. I can step into the space of actually being quite helpful and having a conversation and actually finding out what the sadness was.
Because
and that's
and when you're in that fear, you only see that. So just say fear was, I don't know, that lovely picture in the background. And that would all I'd be focusing on. I wouldn't see anything around it. I wouldn't see anything around it. I'd only see that, you know. So all I was seeing was this fear and this. I didn't see anything else. But I think when you catch it, when you catch yourself and go, oh, I'm in fear. I'm still in it. I can still feel it. Then you start to see a little bit more around it, and I think that's when you step into your awareness, you know, and it's not as intense, you know, like the same. It's just you're just focused on. There's nothing else here but that. There's nothing else around you. That's what I notice about fear.
When you step out of connection, you step out, you're disconnected. You step out of being true self. You know, it is that picture, like the darkness. This picture that you just spotted out it gives me a great example. Right, so there was a really dark time in my life when I bought this picture, and actually it was really sad. Lots had happened, but I won't go into that. Save it for another time. I had been in such a dark fear-based place, and then all of a sudden I'd made a change in my life and stepped into a new chapter, and so that's the moon, so that's the light coming out of the dark. So it's very symbolic for me, and the water in it as well, you know, because the water's always fluid and I'm big on water, so that it really is quite significant. So that for me is about me stepping into the light and out of that fear and that darkness that completely constrained my me being healthy, me being my true self, me stopped me, you know, because I really went inside and had quite pardon the cliche, but quite an awakening really of there's another world out there, there's another life, and I had to like cling on to and go with it, and it was quite scary at the time. But so when you're facing the adversity of fear, it's just like there's always light, it's always with you. It's just that we forget we are that light. We're human beings, for goodness sake. We have that innate intelligence running through us. So we are that. We are light beings. But it's our mind that can take us back in when we disconnect from that. And we all do it. We all do it.
We all do it. I mean, yeah, we all do it. And I think that for you to step into that, you know, for you to start to open up your awareness and step into that new chapter, I think you have to let go of a lot of stuff. I think you have to let go of a lot of beliefs. People have, you know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's letting go of beliefs that keep us crippled. Yeah. So when you start to let go of, because it's normally underneath all the surface level stuff with fear, it normally comes back down to a main core belief, whether it is I don't matter, I'm not enough, I can't trust myself, or I'm not worthy, I'm worthless. I'm trying to think of other people's core beliefs. There's so many.
One of your previous core beliefs?
I'm trying to think of like core beliefs. I think
one of yours,
mine was I don't trust myself.
And that you're not important.
I'm not important. I'm not allowed to be happy. So when we cling on to this,
me and you had a bucket loads of core beliefs that didn't work for us.
Yeah, so the surface level stuff, we just oh, you know, Josh is unhappy, that means I'm allowed to give my job up. This is all surface level stuff, but when you actually grab your core belief and let go of that, I think that's when you can step into a new world and start to see so much more. Because fear is, I'm be very careful how I say this. Fear is an illusion, but it feels so real when we're in it. So I don't want to take the importance of when we're in it, but it is actually an illusion. Now, apart from obviously fear of fight, if you're in it, you go, you know, if I'm crossing a road and a car is here, I'm going to go into fight, flight, or not freeze. Can't hit me. I'm gonna.
But that's the rational. That is the rational.
That's it.
That is the rational.
Yeah. So if I stepped off the pavement, stepped onto the pavement, and then started making up, what if the car?
What could have happened?
Oh, what could have happened? Yeah. Oh my God. Like I could have been paralyzed, or so much stuff we make up. I think when you let go of the belief, so if I let go of, I do trust in myself, and I really do trust in myself, I think a lot of the fears they'd still be here, but bigger fears would now come rather than the little ones. That's my understanding as well.
Yeah, and I think as well, when you do that work on yourself, and you know, I don't want to sound like cliche captions, but it's so bloody true. When you do step into the realms of healing, and your awareness and your consciousness grows, because you see things through new eyes, then those old beliefs, especially when you step into the realms of getting help, whether it's transformation, healing, whatever you do, personal development, counseling, whatever. Whatever works. So when then those beliefs, sometimes you don't even know that those beliefs have just totally fallen away. They no longer serve you. So then it's another day, isn't it? But, then we, when we make more shit up, like, make more beliefs up, new beliefs, that's what's disabling. It disables you. But if you really, the more understanding you have on self, the more we go inside, the more we understand how human beings truly work. It's just so beautiful, because you really do see all the stuff that you make up, all the stuff that we truly has kept us, like this psychological suicide in the mind, and it's all in the mind, and it's nothing to do with the physical.
Oh no,
all those beliefs and everything else, like layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. So I just I've always personally had courage, but even though having that courage in it's all right, I can take it. I can take it because I'm strong. Oh my God. So therefore that's actually kept me in situations that weren't healthy for me, but I didn't have the fear for myself. It was more fearful actually to face the fear, to be happy, because the bad stuff was normalized, so it kept me there. So that's another way of fear, that fear works, because you normalize your situation, and then the thought of actually happiness, if you're not working on the awareness and the understanding of yourself, you know, that you get fearful of actually that happiness, ultimate happiness, which is an inside job anyway. So yeah, so it's weird how it can both, like, you know, how it disables you in so many areas to progress and go forward.
And you know how you were just talking about the fear of happiness. I just had one thought of a client that you know, is a bit a secondary gain. So
Yeah.
so one of my clients was really bloody courageous, like really self-aware, that said, do you know what, I've just realized I've been using my depression. She said, I've had depression for 15 years, and then she realized that I've used my depression as a secondary gain, because if I let go of the depression, I have a fear that people will not be there for me anymore, because while she's in depression, people run around and really try and heal, like rescue her, etc. So she had like, if she let go of the depression, people wouldn't be there for her anymore, and then she'd be responsible for her choices and her life and happiness. And she wasn't ready for that. So obviously, when she become aware of it, she realised how much she was making up, because she realised all she had to do was, when she let go of it, ask for what she needed. Just ask. You know, I need a little bit, I need a little bit of help. But it kept her crippled for years. I can't let go of it. She didn't realise she couldn't let go of it. She just was going along with this. But yeah, that was what people use anxiety as a secondary gain, because you know, I can't, because of my anxiety. Yeah, no, I can't. I don't like driving into London or going into London because of my anxiety. And it's really sad, because it's what they, you know, what people don't really see is that's just a fear of normally happiness, responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, it's starting to be, and it's all the fear. It's all the fear.
No, it is a fear, and asking for help. It reminds me of my story. Do you remember when I started in the realms of helping myself? So for those that don't know, shall I quickly tell it? I don't know if I mentioned it before.
Tell it, Leanne. Tell it.
Okay.
Tell it.
So yeah, right. Gonna do it. Have no fear. Right. Yeah. So basically, excuse me. Right. So I'm registered blind. I do have sight, and I wouldn't ask for help. How's that working out for you, Leanne? Oh, I don't know. I don't think it is. Anyway, so when I'd embarked on a course with a mutual friend of ours, and I used to work with him, called Greg, I remember sitting in the chair, and he's gone to me. So my cousin was doing a short film festival in London, and I desperately wanted to go to support him. A beautiful man. And so my cousin was doing it, and I just wanted to be involved. I wanted to see his work. I wanted to see his short film, and I was like, but I can't go. No, I can't get there. I can't get there because I'm registered blind, and no one was going from here, like this part in Essex. So I was like, oh my God, so I can't get a lift. So then all the obstacles of the fear and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, so then I remember Greg saying to me, so what about the train? They go into London all the time. I can't get the train because I won't be able to see where I'm going. Rational, you may think. Valid excuse, definitely.
Yeah.
Keeping myself in the disabled bracket. Yet if you saw me walking around, no one would even know that I've got sight impairment, a severe sight impairment. So anyway, so then the joke was, you know, those big white circular things on the wall with a big red button in the middle, that if you press that, you get assistance. So then I was trying to hide behind my hair or get a bit of paper and go, oh my God, I'm really embarrassed. So the fear of the journey had actually stopped me thinking rationally of how could I actually do this? And the way I could do that would actually go to the ticket office, produce evidence that I'm registered blind, which I have, and actually ask for assistance. And then guess what? So what happened was that fear went because I was exposed to option, because I had someone challenging me on there's another way. And then I couldn't hide. And then, so then it was just like, okay, you can get the train, but what if I get the wrong train? Then I'm going to end up with someone I don't know. And the fear would cripple me. So then I went to Leigh-on-Sea train station and went, oh, can I have a ticket to Finchley, please? And can I have some assistance on the train because I'm actually registered blind? She's like, yeah, no problem. Hang on a minute. Get somebody, takes me, puts me behind the driver carriage, sitting on the train, got to West Ham. Somebody else in a fluorescent jacket got me, walked me through the station, put me on another train, got to the next stop. Another person got me. I was like that. Oh my God. Anyway, I got there. I went to see my cousin's film festival, which I absolutely loved. It was absolutely buzzing. And I never had a fear of traveling again. Then all I have to do is ask. And all I had to do was ask. I was totally keeping myself a prisoner in my mind, all by not asking for help that was actually rightfully mine, because I do have a disability and there are people there that really want to help people. So that fear crippled me, and that was 8 years ago.
Wow.
9 years ago. Yeah. So look at that fear. 47 now, so my late 30s.
But then you would have, this is what you'd have carried on making stuff up.
Oh, I was the queen of making stuff up. I had a crown and everything.
Yeah, we all do it. We all do it.
Yeah.
I was the king at it. I was a mouse.
So that whole fear-based illusion was keeping me trapped, and there was no bars. All I had to do was ask for help.
Oh wow! And then, like you said, when you see it for what it was, that's when you let go of the fear. But
and I'm so hats off to the lady that's your client, because as you were telling that story, that really moves me, because now she hasn't got a secondary gain. She knows she can't use it, and and she's got out of that depression, and she can see it for what it truly is, and then she can connect, and then she can live her life. So that's absolutely amazing to hear.
Oh, and then so many things changed for her after that.
Of course,
in such an amazing way. And this is what say yes to fear. Just say yes to it. Just say yes to it.
Yeah.
Just welcome it. It's all right. Just say yes to it. But still, because we often ask for things. I heard someone say this recently. We ask for things, and then we fantasize about things, and then it comes, and we go, no. Wait, we don't want it yet. But if we go, do you know what? Yes, I'll say I've asked for it, and look, it's coming. And just say yes to it.
Yeah, when I do my work that I do, it's just like in transformation, it's just like people really want to do something or achieve something or change their beliefs and patterns of behaviour that doesn't serve them anymore. They just say, oh, I'd love to do that. Or what's stopping you? They go, well, obviously me. And I'm like, no, but what's truly stopping you? What's the language you're using to stop you doing that? And then it all exposes and it all comes out, and it's just like, well, that is the stuff you're making up all the time. And that's what disables us, isn't it? And it's all fear-based.
Yeah, and it's never, when we actually see it for what it is, it's not as scary as we ever thought it would be. That's what I
no, it never is. The reality of when you actually go to do something that you've been fearing, it never is it?
No, when you actually see it for what it is, and then we let go of a lot without even realising it.
Yeah. Like illusions are powerful, really powerful.
Oh, it really is, yeah. So, yeah.
Right. There was you saying that I'd covered it all in the first 3 minutes, and now we've been talking for how long?
We've been talking for, I don't know actually, it's
Doesn't
recorded.
matter. It
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
matter.
that's thank you for sharing that, Leanne.
You're welcome, my darling. But like, you know, the whole idea of these conversations, the whole idea of us getting out there on a social platform, having these chats, is to help people. That is it, full stop. There's nothing else to add.
If someone can relate to it, and then go, oh my God, I do that, and then they can let go of some stuff. Yeah, it's just to raise the awareness, isn't it? It's to raise the awareness, because I wasn't aware of this. If I'd have seen a podcast on this when I was making up stuff that I was shy or nervous or not confident, I wouldn't have seen it was actually, I was fear. I'd have just thought it was part of my personality, because I got told that, yeah, you've always been a bit shy, like that's who you are. And it's not actually true.
No, I think you're shy.
No.
You're not now.
But I'd make it up, but it's really fear that was crippling me, just fear.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm like setting out my own, starting my own business and stuff like that, and you know, that fear was keeping me. That was a fear of mine, you know, and now it's happening.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Now it's happening. I'm independently going to work and help people one by one. Yeah, so you know, it's everything when you look at it. Yeah. Interesting though, isn't it?
Someone, who is it? Joseph something said, the cave
Joseph something.
I don't know his surname. He's done a good quote. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. So when you actually go into the fear and go through it, it's lovely.
Yeah, well, what is the opposite? Like for me,
the opposite
of fear is love.
Yes,
it's love.
Fear is love,
and that's who our true nature. We are that love.
And when we're in love, there's no fear. When you're loving someone,
absolutely, there's no fear in love. No.
Yeah, no. I do it with Robin sometimes. I go, oh, I really love you, Robin, like little dog. But when she's jumping fences or something, I go into fear and go, oh, the little cow. But if I was in fear, I'd be going, it's okay. And if I was in love, I'd be going, it's okay, you jump the fence. What we'll do is we'll get larger fences for you. I don't do that when she's doing it. When I'm not in fear, I'm making up stuff. And what would she do to other people's gardens? What about if she escapes? Blah, blah, blah. But we actually did get.
She hasn't even got over the other side of the fence.
She's just sitting there staring at me. What's she talking about? Just give me a biscuit or something.
Yeah, feed me.
But yes, so are we? I didn't think of this before, but are we doing the funniest thing that we've seen or heard this week? I can't even think.
Oh my God, I haven't.
Let's have a little thought. The funniest thing that I've seen or heard.
I've done lots of funny things myself and laughed at myself a lot.
That could be it.
One of them, a photo shoot down with the lovely Bobby down in Chalkwall, trying to get some profile and some, like, you know, some up-to-date photos to go on social platforms and stuff is what I'm doing now. And it was so like done my hair and makeup and everything. And the sun was out. I was like, yeah, I want to get down by the sea. I want water in it. I want, you know, my favourite place, like, you know, beach and that. And then I've gone down there and I had this vision of having my like shark scarf and having like a yes, like with it, you know, like in the back. And it was so windy. My hair just blew. My eyes are streaming where it's so windy. But she still managed to take some shots. I tell you, she's really good. And so we just fell about laughing, talk about don't take yourself seriously. That was funny.
Oh, that's amazing.
People just walking past going, weirdos.
Yeah, so you had this like lovely expectation, perception of how it might be.
Oh my God, I went into the illusion of
Kerry and
sunny, it's going to be sunny, it's going to be beautiful and everything. It was freezing bloody cold, the wind was whipping, and it was so unglamorous, seriously, but we had such a crack. It was brilliant. So I made myself laugh. But I had government, I think they've sounded rather silly.
Oh yeah, just a bit.
Funniest thing I've heard all week is all of a sudden, restrictions get dropped, it all disappears, and COVID. What's COVID?
I know, I was in the opticians yesterday having an eye test, and I thought, God, isn't it interesting how today it's really serious, and everyone's wearing their mask, but on Mondays no one has to wear a mask. How does that work? All of a sudden, 2 days is all you're safe now, and I was like, this is so interesting.
Interesting and really funny.
It's funny. It's funny. I don't think I can think of something. Things have been quite serious.
Well, don't worry about it then.
No, I can't. I can't think of one. The funniest thing, I bet I'll remember after.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
I'll be laughing on my own.
You don't have to. You don't have to think of the funniest thing.
I can't think of the funniest thing I've seen or heard this week. I did see something funny yesterday.
Do you want to talk about it?
Or it might be one of them ones that, like when people go, you're on your own. So I was at KFC with Megan, and they had a chicken on the outside of the building, like, painted to the wall. And I was like, that chicken is trying to escape from KFC. Don't cook me. But yeah, that's one of the funniest things. Yeah, it's one of them ones. I find it hilarious. I was really belly laughing.
One of those things when did I just say that out loud?
That's all
There's
I've got.
a picture of a chicken. There's a picture of a chicken looking like he wants to run away from KFC.
I'm still funny. So, Leanne, are we done?
Yeah, I think so.
We're going to leave it on the
funny that you've just
the chicken.
Huh. Did it have 2 breasts or 3?
Yeah, let's leave it on that.
Anyway, okay.
Serious face.
Serious.
Yeah. So if people can please like, share, and comment if you resonate. Again, if anyone wants to come on and share their experiences with anything we've shared on our podcast, please do. We'd love to have you on, wouldn't we, Leanne?
Yeah, we would. Like, we just I think we want to start having some guests about their own experiences, or if there's anything that's just been brought up for them, or put them on the comments down below. Please subscribe, share. You can find us on YouTube, Anchor, Facebook.
Yes.
And thank you very much for listening.
Yes, thank you for listening. Lovely doing a podcast with you, Miss Leanne, again.
Always a pleasure, Hayley.
Right, everyone take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.